Alright, what's cracking with y'all? It's your boy Prince the Hustle God, aka Wise the Warlock. And we reaching in our combat tool bag one more again. It is a cold black affair, as always. Always will be a cold black affair. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. LDBC only. LDBC everywhere. LDC or nothing. LDBC or nothing, excuse me. And LDBC versus everybody. So this video is on Devin the Dream Haney and Clarissa the Quote Shields, and it's also a makeup for today's breakfast and boxing, so it'll be an extended form video, a little bit longer. Devin the Dream Haney is the undisputed champion of 135. Clarissa the Quote Shields is two-time undisputed, first time to ever be done, period, and also unified in another division, and defending her all of her belts in her upcoming bout. Aside of being rare and some of the greatest fighters on the planet, what do these people have in common? A, that they're young black individuals. B, that Ring magazine and the ring belt for undisputed has had tension or public issues with only these two undisputed champion. No, excuse me. Jermell Charlo as well. So before I go into detail, I'll detract for a little bit, or digress for a little bit. Not detract, excuse me. Digress for a little bit about Jermell Charlo and Ring magazine. Even though he is undisputed at 154, they refused to, at one point in time, rank him in their pound-for-pound list. Just a bit of background: Ring magazine used to be referred to as the Bible of boxing. I mean, Ring magazine had people on the cover, legends on the cover, like Floyd Mayweather, dressed in old school gangster style. They had Lennox Lewis. They had all of the greatest, whether they were undisputed or not. They had the greatest athletes on their cover, graced their cover. And when we're talking about fighting, when we're talking about athleticism, it's rarely not a black person. So that's just what it is. So fast forward to now, after Oscar De La Hoya bought it, and the controversy and the propaganda behind that switched or went all the way downhill, we have now three undisputed champions, where I gave just a little bit. They didn't want to rank Jermell Charlo. They had a problem with Jermell Charlo even when he was unified. Even before that, when he had just the WBC by itself, they refused to rank him and place him high. And even after he became undisputed, they didn't want to rank him. But now we have something more telling, and that was when Devin Haney, after he became undisputed, a representative of Ring magazine publicly stated that Devin Haney should send the Ring magazine, or the ring belt back, the undisputed belt back to them. And it was only because he spoke up about the fact that he wasn't ranked high on people's pound for pound list in general, not specifically doing anything or stating anything bad about Ring Magazine. But their response to that was, "Hey champ, send it back." They never disrespected any champion in this capacity or in any capacity that I have in my recollection. And not to harp on that too long, if we look at Clarissa Shields' scenario, just to draw a parallel, not harp on it, because that's what this video is about, but to draw the parallel to Clarissa Shields' situation, Clarissa Shields has done what no man has done what we all dream to do as professionals, not only become a champion, but become the champ by becoming undeniable, undisputed. And she did that 2 times, as well as became a gold medalist 2 times, and then unified another division, and also made title defenses. So she's literally one of a kind. And in my book, if you want to go just by accolades, what they were hyping up Lomachenko to be as the best since Sugar Ray Robinson and Ali and all of the exaggerations you can think of under the sun, they all accurately depict what Clarissa Shields has delivered us in the few fights she has had. Not to mention she's crossed over to mixed martial arts as well. So it wasn't like she didn't prove she is truly the ultimate warrior, but the ultimate athlete at this point. So where we have another run-in with Ring with her is Ring Magazine stated that Clarissa Shields vacated her title, their ring belt. And they're not even a sanctioning body, by the way. They're literally just like a trophy for after you unify all of the major sanctioning bodies, which is the WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF. So their opinion on anything in boxing is completely irrelevant, especially after Oscar De La Hoya purchased it. But needless to say, going back to the recent events, they stated she vacated her title, which was a lie and completely inaccurate. As she stated, "I ain't vacate shit." And even in their statement, I apologize for interrupting their statement with her response, but they said she vacated and now 2 women are contending for her title, which was completely unbeknownst to her. They blindsided her and just tried to take her title away from her and have 2 other non-black women compete for it, and women who have completely no fan base compared to Clarissa Shields. And regardless of their ranking, it's just like, why would you want to trade a champion who you're getting so much of a percentage from to trade off for some unknown commodity? It just doesn't make good business sense. But Clarissa Shields responded with, "I ain't vacate shit." And in essence, they don't know what they talking about, and these people just trying to take their belt from me. So yeah, when I look at the Clarissa Shields and Devin Haney scenario, it's the only times I've seen formerly reputable corporation in boxing exclusively take public shots at black undisputed champions, not contenders, not prospects, not journeymen, not even just champions. We're talking about the creme de la creme, the elites. And if they'll treat the elites like this in public, what would they do behind the scenes in private that they don't talk about? Just as a reminder, The WBA is still under investigation by the ABC, American Boxing Commission, or something like that, for their subsidiary, or just their sister corporation, set up to essentially launder money for payola, in essence, or wash the payola for rankings for specific fighters, and for the benefit of specific promoters and promotional companies. Excuse me, stuttered a little bit. Just looking at it from an objective point of view, I'm a black man, but and there's no way to really remove the black perspective out of it. But if I'm to completely silence my emotions and look at just what is, I only see two parallels, and that's two young, great black athletes. That's it. Why can we see any other parallels between the two? It's not like Clarissa Shields is talking shit to promoters or disrespecting the country or anything like that. She's talking shit to fighters and backing it up exclusively. Other than that, she's celebrating her life with a black man. Nothing wrong with that. And then if we look at Devin the Dream Haney, I don't see anything but a young man who just made number one, top 25, under 25, being an undisputed champion in a glory division, 135 lightweight, has been at lightweight his whole career, chasing everyone down. But again, just removing even the boxing expertise out of it, just looking at it objectively, again, just another elite, great athlete who happens to be black. And they're openly attacked and targeted by a publicly known non-black corporation, non-black owned corporation, and seems to only have what we in the black community are allowed to describe as coons affiliated with it. Only coons affiliated with it. So that said, if we actually look at the trail of connection here from Ring Magazine to Oscar De La Hoya via ownership, and Oscar De La Hoya and his affiliates at Golden Boy had a public dispute in which they colluded with other promoters such as Bob Arum, and who happens to be non-black as well, to sue the black man, Al Heyman, who only seemed to want to bring structure to the sport in what was presented about PBC, but they interpreted it as overpaying fighters and monopolizing the sport, which doesn't seem to be any different than what they do. Besides, the only difference I see is overpaying the fighter. But as far as monopolizing the sport, that seems to be every promoter's intent. And even through action, if we look at humans for what they are, and if we look at companies for what they are as a summation of action, or a summation of his or her actions or its actions, what is a corporation other than, or a boxing company other than something that's trying to create its own tournament with its own fighters for its own benefit. No promotional company is attempting to create a tournament exclusively with other promotional companies for the benefit of other promotional companies. That's not how business works. That's not how the world works. But yeah, I didn't want to get too derailed. I did want to give a longer form video. I will most likely title it Boxing and Breakfast Episode 3, a late breakfast. But I drew the little line just to connect the dots on the ownership, the lawsuit, the bias, the racial bias. There was also the racist emails that came out of Oscar De La Hoya's camp, where they were calling out him and the Black Hitler and nigger this and nigger that. So to bring it full circle is the reason I connected the dots on that. It's to give a bigger picture so that when analyzing these, what would be looked at as little things or nuances or under a microscope, just micro, you can connect the micro events to the macro, the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is we're dealing with racist people, a racist company that are targeting specifically profitable, winning black champions, stars, athletes at their best. Why? I'd assume or speculate because they think their athletes or their national or ethnic representatives in the sport naturally either cannot compete on an even term, or maybe they can't promote them as well as the Mike Tysons, the Lennox Lewises, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Muhammad Alis, the Robinsons of the world. When we name the greatest fighters on the planet, we think black. But for some reason, or in boxing, just to be specific, so it doesn't sound so general, so you can actually follow me. We think black boxers. If you're thinking like exclusively traditional martial arts, you may think Japanese or Chinese, which is reasonable. It makes sense. But in the sport of pugilism and boxing, you think black ultimately. That said, yeah, it seems to me that it would be their ethnic representative, their national representative, doesn't make the cut, but doesn't make the cut, doesn't sell enough, or doesn't win enough for audiences to latch on just genuinely and naturally or organically without racial pandering. But that said, please do me a favor, everybody. Support, like, sub to everyone in the LDBC, not just me. Support, like, the Trilitary, my OG Black Fight fan. Do everything you can to support the LDBC, the Trilitary, the Usual Suspects. Shop Usual Suspect 6, by the way. Shop usualsuspect6.com. Support TWT. Do everything you can to like, subscribe, comment to every one of their channels. Yeah, and I'll do my traditional closing, I guess. But check out, like, share, sub, comment, all that shit to Combat Tool Bag, to Acting Right TV, to HFO The Firm. Got a lot of good shit coming for you. 94 Films on YouTube is my little brother, 94 Sun God. And 94 Sun God on Instagram for him. Yeah, I love y'all. I'm here to give a co-black perspective. That's what it is. It's 100% black first and LDBC first. If you don't get that, you're breaking the rules of the platform. And if you don't support that, then I think you're in the wrong place. Hence LDBC or nothing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the parallel I drew between Clarissa Shields and Devin the Dream Haney in the comment section. And until next time, guys, it's your boy Prince the Hustle God, aka Wise the Warlock. We was reaching in our combat tool bag. I think we successfully pulled out and we gone.